Today, I'm going to speak on behalf of Joshua, my younger brother, because he was the closest to my grandfather, closer than anyone could be in the family. It goes, Today, I stand before you to celebrate a life lived in steadfast devotion to Christ, a life that touched St. Paul's Church deeply and transformed countless hearts along the way and beyond these walls. Finding people who combine courage, humility, integrity, and discipline is rare. My grandfather was all four. For 63 years, he sat at the pipe organ, pouring out God's glory in music. In every note he played, you could hear his undying devotion. As Proverbs tells, whoever brings blessings will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered. He blessed us all, and in turn was blessed with love and gratitude. To be a Christian is to follow Christ's command to love sacrificially. Jesus said, By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. My grandfather embodied that love in the simplest moments. I spent a lot of time with him. He always welcomed me into his home and offered me food, snacks, or anything I wanted. He used to go to my grandfather's house at 4 o'clock every evening, and he used to ask, Patima coffee, Veno. He would give it to me, although sometimes he would start with, But first, I have some work for you. Which was not really little, I say, but after we helped him out, he'd reward us with what he asked for. Sometimes even before my mom found out and scolded him for spoiling us. Those were such fun times. Christ calls us to compassion and hope. As Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 says, Come to me all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Even as pain weighed heavily on him in the last 6 months, my grandfather clung to that promise. After 2 successful surgeries and several hospital stays, he found strength on the 8th of June, on Pentecost Sunday, to return to the organ bench one last time. He played that day with all the glory and might he had left in him. He was a great storyteller too. I'll never forget the amazing and funny tales he told from his life, as well as the deep sorrow he carried for the siblings he lost long ago, Jairaj and Johnny. In tears, he would speak of their suffering and his longing to reunite with them, and his mother especially, Mrs. Daisy George, who used to call him Rajama. He reminded me that faith does not erase grief, but anchors us through it. He was a classical music enthusiast, and I'm just happy that he introduced me to such music at a young age, which I came to love as well. Some of his favorites were Hungarian Dance, number 5 and number 6, Beethoven's Symphony, number 7, Allegretto, Jazz Suite, Waltz number 2, and old Indian cinema classic songs. These were just a few pieces which he loved to play at our house, always, and had a great smile after hearing the music. Whenever he came home, the home was filled with joy. We used to be scattered at home, all doing their own work. Whenever he used to come home, there was noise, there was happiness. He brought happiness into the house. Last May, he was the first person I called to share my exam results. His smile that day, and that was the last time I will ever recall such a moment of him being proud of me. That was the last time I saw him truly well and spoke with. Weeks later, after his final surgery, I spoke to him while he was awake. Though very weak, I remember pleading, "Please don't go, Tata," about 100 times that day. I didn't know that it would be the last time I would see or speak with him again. It reminds me of something Pi said in the movie Life of Pi. In the end, the whole of life becomes an act of letting go. But what always hurts the most is not taking a moment to say goodbye. I wish I had been there to hold his hand one last time, but I find comfort in knowing he is now reunited with Christ and with the loved ones he so deeply missed. My grandfather was extraordinary, not because of his wealth or status, but because of the grace and love he shared with everyone. Even though those who did not share his faith held him in the highest regard, he has left a great impact and a legacy that will live on in each one of us. I'll end with something the pastor at my church says at the end of every service. It has always stayed with me, and I feel it is the perfect way to close. My sisters and brothers, there's a word out there that needs to hear the good news that we carry with us. So go out there. Life is short. We do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So be swift to love, make haste to kind, and may the blessing of God be with us always. The pipe organ was his first love. He loved it more than anything else. And when the first time I wore the cassock to serve as an altar boy in the church, when I sat on the chair in the altar, he looked at me, he gave me a smile, and winked at me. I will miss that view. I will miss his reflection on the mirror. Lastly, I want to thank everyone who were there with us during this tough time. Especially, I want to thank those who helped make arrangements for this service and those who visited him and our family in the hospital when he was sick and came home to support us. You all were really a blessing. God bless you all, and thank you so much. Tata, I love you, Tata. Today indeed marks the end of an era for the Society of St. Paul's. Thank you.